What's going on, guys? Thank you for tuning into this episode of Twin Finance. My name is Jackson, and today I'm going to talk about my thoughts on the current state of the market, in particular the NASDAQ. Um, so basically, the NASDAQ closed another 3% down today, and do I think it's going to continue to sell off? Well, yeah, that's what I'm going to answer here today. So, just going to get right into it. These are basically, 10 of like some of the biggest companies that trade on the NASDAQ. I tried to keep it all tech stocks, so just to bunch it all together. But yeah, all these companies trade on the NASDAQ. Some of these companies over here are a little smaller, but they're pretty prominent companies, so I wanted to include them. But yeah, so these are 10 stocks. Obviously, Apple, Amazon, Facebook, Google, Microsoft. Obviously, like those are some of the biggest companies in the whole world. But yeah, that's why I wanted to include them also. So if you just look at the numbers, all these numbers here are from at the peak level of the stock. So at their peak stock price to where they are currently. That's where I got these numbers. So this isn't in a 1 month time frame. All the time frames for all these companies are different. I'm just looking at the numbers. I want to see like where were people valuing these stocks before, and then where are they currently. So from Apple's high, 20% down. Amazon 26% down. Facebook's down was 40%, guys. That's a big move. That's they're well past that bearish cycle. Like for the last 5 months, maybe not even 5 months, but for the last few months here, Facebook's been getting hammered. So 40% is definitely a considerable move down. And there's not a whole lot of positivity going around about Facebook right now. They could definitely go a little lower, just based off that. Google down almost 20%. Microsoft, I wanted to include them too because not every company is down 20%. Microsoft's only down 10% from their high, but they also weren't growing as crazy as these companies here. So obviously Amazon on the year they're up crazy amounts the last couple of years here. So I definitely think Amazon could probably shed another 20-30% easy. Okay, and then on the right side here, some of the smaller companies, AMD. I know you guys probably know that they're up like 200% in the last year here. It's a little ridiculous, and now they're falling 42% down since their peak. They're another one like Amazon where I think they could go down definitely a little bit more for sure. They were bid up like crazy this year. They could definitely shed some more value. Netflix too, I believe they were quite overvalued at a certain point. They're down 36% from their high. So you see, there's a lot of companies looking right in around this 40% range. Like these next two companies, Micron, eBay, all down 40%. That's pretty. When you start to see bigger companies that are more prominent, 30-40%, guys, the problem you start to see is little companies are going to follow, right? Like, who are the trendsetters? Like, when the market's doing well, who's doing well? All the big companies. When the market goes bad, who starts to do bad? The big companies. Nobody cares about these penny stocks or smaller companies going off the market if Amazon and Apple are up 20 or freaking 80% in 1 year in Amazon's case. You know what I mean? Nobody cares. Nobody cares about the small companies. What brings the market down? What affects the most amount of people and changes their opinion about the market? The big companies. So yeah, as you can see here, bear market. If you guys don't know what that is, 25% down over a 6 month period or more. A lot of these companies approaching that, guys, right around 20, 25, 40% in some cases. So definitely a pretty bearish outlook so far. So if this carries out, you can start to see an actual bear market as on the Nasdaq and even the market as a whole. The Nasdaq, I believe, is only down like 13% from its peak. So yeah, obviously the whole Nasdaq the whole Nasdaq exchange isn't doing quite as bad as some of these companies. But like I said, if the big companies are making these downward moves like that, the little companies on that exchange too are probably going to follow. And I think the Dow is down like 8% on the year, and not 8% on the year, but 8% from its high. Um, and the S&P is quite similar. So definitely, if this drags out and there's not any positivity coming out, I know earnings season has been really well across the board for a lot of companies in the market. A lot of companies are beating earnings. I think it's right around like 70% of companies beat earnings, which is great. But yeah, these stock prices, guys, it's just they're going down, and you just got to look at the numbers at some point, right? Like these numbers are pretty scary. So definitely, yeah, I just believe that these are numbers. You can't just put aside and say, don't worry about it. These are some pretty considerable moves, and I think if it affects enough people, it could take down the not take it down. Like I'm not out here to say it's going to nothing, freaking 1930 Great Depression, but I'm just saying the whole market as a whole. I believe it could be pretty decently bearish coming up, if at best flat. So I don't really think the market's too primed to make a big move here. In upward direction, definitely not. So if it goes in any big moves, I think it's going to go in the downward direction. Yeah, so that's just my thoughts on the market, in particular the Nasdaq and the tech stocks right now. If you guys feel differently, share it in the comment section below. If you have a different opinion, yeah, just share it. Love to hear. Thank you for watching this video and have a great day.